The right to bear arms, and how many people would think that our nation would be better off without the right to bear arms? Alright, so how many people think that bearing arms is a way to protect ourselves and everything there is in this nation? Alright, easier to do this then.
You should have come to one of my other classes.
Alright, so although many people say, and actually not in this class, but many people do say that having gun control would make it easier to maintain crime, like our police would have easier times to arrest people and eliminate all of the homicides that we have today. But the right to bear arms is supported, and it actually was put in place by our founding fathers back before, during the Revolution. They believed that every American had the right to protect what is rightfully theirs, as in their property, their lives, their families' lives, or even their government as a whole. I actually am also very strong for this. I'm pro the Second Amendment here. It's actually not the right to have bear arms. You actually can have guns. That's what this is on. But if you don't believe me, there's many things that I can actually show you that will help you hopefully understand why this is intact. The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Basically, this means that the government cannot come in and say that no one, you can't own a gun, and that only the government people can, the army can have guns and stuff. Like I said before, it was greatly supported by our founding fathers. They believed that without this, our nation probably would actually not be existing. We'd probably would still be under British rule. No offense. But yeah, so they also said that even after we won, that it would be our way to prevent tyrannical governments, such as ours even, that we can prevent them from taking away basically all our freedoms and becoming dictatorships. The American Revolution was actually said to be won thanks to many people who weren't actually enlisted in the army. It was actually people who farmed, grabbed their guns, went out and fought together. And it consisted of just average people like you and me, who would just go out and just fight. Heavily trained British army that was actually one of the top superior armies at the time. There's actually a quote on this picture that says, Washington didn't use his right of free speech to defeat the British, he shot them. So, I mean, it pretty much sums up everything. Although this was a big reason, the militia was a big reason why this was actually put in place after the war, was because it just, that way, if there any time that people needed to pick up arms, they could do so just in a matter of minutes. Some of them were actually called Minutemen back in the war. Many people believe that the cause of mass killings is because of the fact that anyone can own a weapon, but I believe that it prevents more killings from actually happening than what are occurring today. The thought of using self-defense is probably it's very scary, I feel, because no one ever wants to be put in that situation where you have to take another life, but it's almost like kill or be killed. It's one of the quotes that I feel is necessary. The statistic is 2,181 Americans use guns in self-defense every single day. That's a lot. And without that, think about the loss of life that we'd actually have if people didn't use self-defense, and they couldn't use self-defense with weapons. There's a quote from Thomas Jefferson: "Laws that forbid the carrying of arms disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes. Such laws make things worse for the assaulted and better for the assailants. They serve rather to encourage than prevent homicides, for an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an armed one." And to me, I feel like that actually plays into today's world. I mean, this is back in revolutionary time period, and this is 2012, and it still comes into play today. The Second Amendment was supported by names like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton. These men are actually very highly regarded by many historians and citizens today. They're still up there with the top people. And the idea of gun control is actually supported by names like Adolf Hitler, Fidel Castro, Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, and Idi Amin, and also our current president, Barack Obama. So many of these people on the bottom are actually highly hated dictators and caused a lot of death to their own people. So this amendment was the reason we want our freedom for our American people. It's supported by founding fathers and many citizens today. But it also brings up a very controversial debate sometimes between people who feel that not everyone should be able to have a gun. But when it comes down to it, it actually saves your lives and property. So I'm going to leave you all with one question. Who do you trust? Our highly liked founding fathers or the dictators?